To be disabled and not hate yourself for it is a profound act of resistance.
Oh yeah, I've always been a contrarian. Oh yeah, I've always been a contrarian. Oh yeah, they say I'm just a little too young. Oh yeah, I've always been a contrarian.
Hey, welcome to another day in my Crip life. Today I want to talk about Cripple punk. So the disabled community is not a community that has really existed for a very long time. Because of things like ugly laws and the prevalence of facilities and institutions leading all the way up into the 60s, the disabled were often kept out of the public eye. They were kept at home or in facilities where they were cared for, where no one could see them, no one could know they existed or have to look at them or deal with them, and we were kept from ourselves and each other, basically. We are a very young community in that sense, especially on the public scene. And so I didn't know that back in 1993, 94, when I was in high school and college, and I was dressing goth punk and had big hair and wore fishnets and did makeup, that I was actually undergoing or participating in an act of resistance, an act of rebellion of what the disabled image is supposed to be, because we didn't even have those kinds of concepts or words at that time. What I was doing was basically, I figured if you were going to look at me, I was going to give you something to look at. And so I fully embraced my goth punk culture, and I was very out in front with it and in your face. I didn't realize that I was hardly the only one doing that. I didn't even think about it that way. It was just who I was and what I wanted to do. And it ended up becoming something of a movement, not because of me, obviously, but because of so many of us disabled people being tired of living with certain expectations and certain ideals and certain images of what we are supposed to be. We're supposed to be inspirational. We're supposed to be good and pure and innocent, and we're supposed to be the kind of person that others look up to and see what they could be if they just tried harder. And nobody ever asked us if that's what we wanted or if that's who we were. And it's honestly major imposter syndrome, trying to live your life with people constantly telling you that, oh, you're so special, oh, you're so different, you're so, God made you special, and just everything that you get told as a disabled kid and a young disabled person growing up. It really instills in you this rigid idea of what you're supposed to be rather than who you're supposed to be. And in my late teenage years, I decided, fuck that. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to dress how I want to dress. I'm going to listen to what I want to listen to and talk the way I want to talk, do what I want to do. And a lot of us started doing that. Well, in 2014, there was a non-binary disabled person named Tyler Truella. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing the last name right, who was big on Tumblr and a fairly big presence in the disabled Tumblr community at that time. And they said, to be disabled and not hate yourself for it is a profound act of resistance. And they also said that Cripple punk, the aesthetic that they decided to give a name to, they took a picture of themselves and said, I'm starting a movement and I'm calling it Cripple punk. Who's in? And it went viral. It exploded. Cripple punk is exclusively by the physically disabled for the physically disabled. Cripple punk rejects the good cripple mythos. Cripple punk is here for the bitter cripple, the uninspirational cripple, the smoking cripple, the drinking cripple, the addict cripple, the cripple who hasn't tried everything. Cripple punk does not pander to the able-bodied. And basically, in saying that, they summed up what so many of us of older generations already felt and knew kind of within them, but had never found the words for or never really thought to put into words. It was just something that we kind of stumbled our way into. Well, Tyler took this and actually made it an official thing and gave it this name and gave it this platform, and Cripple Punk was born from that. And if you do a search now online for Cripple Punk, you'll find lots of pictures. You'll find lots of different pages. There are even online stores that will sell merchandise, T-shirts, stickers, all kinds of things. And so I want to talk a little bit about what Cripple Punk is and what it means to us and to me specifically. It is basically the first that I can think of, the first truly disabled aesthetic and fashion movement. It is exclusively for the physically disabled, but it doesn't gatekeep who that is. It doesn't tell you that just because you don't look disabled or because you're, quote, passing as able-bodied, that you can't participate. Anybody who is disabled, especially physically disabled, can participate, and they can do so however they choose to. A lot of it comes down to not just clothing, or hair, like me, or piercings, but they will decorate their chairs. They will decorate their walkers, their canes, their walking sticks, whatever mobility function, whatever mobility tools they have, they will put spikes on them. They will decorate them. And it would even start as a disabled person would put spikes on the handles of their wheelchair so that random strangers couldn't come up and just start pushing them. Oh, where do you want to go? I'll take you there. You would not believe how much that happens. My partner, Sylv, was in a manual wheelchair and would hold on to the back of my chair and I would pull them. But when we would be in a store or at a place, wherever we were, and we were separated for a little bit looking at different things, people would come up and try to push them without even asking. They just grab a hold of the chair and, oh, here, let me help you. And that is one of the most invasive and rude things you can possibly do to a disabled person. So one disabled person decided, I'm going to put spikes on the handles of my chair so I can't be pushed. So nobody can do that to me. That's Cripple Punk. Other people decorate their walker or their cane. They decorate their wheelchair. Sylv, for example, had some really cool roses and skulls graphic art that was on overlays that went over the spokes of their wheels on their back wheels of their wheelchair. And it was kind of a wheel cover. And it looks awesome. And they got compliments on it all the time. That's Cripple Punk. It's basically anything you want to do to embrace and show off your mobility aids, your disability, who you are, rather than trying to hide it or run away from it. Cripple Punk is basically, we don't care what we're supposed to look like or what you think we're supposed to be. We are going to be us. We are going to be our authentic selves. And if you don't like it, that's your problem. But you're going to meet us on our terms now. And there's just so much that's freeing about that kind of an idea for a group of people that are the largest minority in the world. We are, I think, 24%, 24% of all people have a disability of some kind. A lot of it is what they call invisible disabilities, where it's not something that you can see just looking at them, but it's there. And we are across all ethnicities, all religions, all gender identities and sexualities, and all cultures. We exist in every space. And there's nothing to be ashamed of with that. There is nothing to hide from or feel bad about, no matter how much people will try to tell you that it should be something that you feel bad about. Oh, I'm so sorry for you. I'm sorry you have to go through that. You deserve better. Or you'll hear when you have a disabled person with an able-bodied partner, interabled as it's called, the able-bodied partner will get things like, oh, that's such, you have such a big heart for loving them, and that's such a huge thing that you're doing, and I'm just so moved by your kindness and your generosity. What? For loving somebody? For being with somebody? Why is that an accomplishment? Why is that something to be, hero worshipped or put on a pedestal or idolized? It's human. The act of loving another person is just as basic as humanity gets. And Cripple Punk basically is our way as disabled people of telling everybody around them that you are going to take me on my terms. You are going to meet me on my terms. You are going to deal with me on my terms. And I am not going to conform to what you want me to be. I am not going to follow a script or play a role. I am a person, and I'm going to be me. Just me. And so that is something that when I realized this actually existed as a whole thing, an official thing, it was really relieving in a way, because I wasn't the only one that felt that. It is a universally shared experience for all of us, even those who don't consider themselves to be cripple punk, that none of us are regular. None of us are normal. None of us are what we're supposed to be. We are something else. We are the other. We are always going to be the other. And there's no way to change that. And letting other people make you feel like the other and feel like that's a bad thing is a massive self-esteem and self-confidence crushing weight that we cannot allow to hang over us anymore. We have to step away from that or roll away from that. We have to basically get out from under it. We have to stop treating ourselves like there's something wrong with us. Just because we are born the way we are, just because we become the way we are, for those of us who aren't born this way, that doesn't make us less than. And we are still just like you. We are people, each and every one of us. And so I just wanted to take a moment to talk about that and to give you a little introduction to what cripple punk is. And, you know, if the young goth punk me back in the mid to late 90s had known this was a thing and that I was actually doing the thing, that would have been awesome. I would have felt even more emboldened and even more comfortable in my own skin than I was. And unfortunately, because, you know, I kind of got out of the aesthetic and out of doing the hair and the makeup and the clothes until I just recently started doing the hair again. And I have, you know, my septum piercing, got that a few years ago. I've always wanted one, never did. These are all things that I do for me. I don't do them for you. I don't do them to look cool. I don't do them to say anything other than this is who I want to be. And if you're going to look at me, I'll give you something to look at. And there's so much pain and weight that is lifted away when you finally accept I'm disabled, but I'm not less than. I'm not lacking. There is nothing wrong with me. And that is the kind of profound act of resistance we need more of in this world. We need more people to just be themselves. And I just wanted to put this together. It's something I've been thinking about for a while as an actual concept video that I wanted to do. Some days I'm going to do things like this. I won't have daily topics or, you know, things to tell you about in my life. I'll actually want to speak on a topic or an issue that is bigger than that. And that's what this is. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time here on My Crip Life. See you next time. Bye.